So guys, I think I'm going to do this for all of our Void subclasses going into Void 3.0. And if you don't know by now, next month, our Void subclasses are going to change drastically with the launch of Witch Queen. Think of it as having the same layout as our Stasis subclasses right now with all the different customizable options, which again, is just us returning back to what we had in Destiny 1. And I think that was like one of the leading complaints that we had going from D1 to D2 was like, yo, we used to have the ability to choose between what neutral game abilities we wanted to use alongside our supers. It wasn't tied to a subclass node. We had full customization, and that was a beautiful thing. Now, I know Bungie's getting back to that. It's taken like 20 years, but we're finally getting there. Today, though, I wanted to focus on the Voidwalker class because this past weekend inside of Trials, I got to witness Axiom bolts for the first time, and my lord, was it meta. Now, I've been seeing Noja for the past few months inside of Trials using Axiom bolts with specifically Top Tree, using Chaos Accelerant, overcharging those grenades, and these grenades track so aggressively when they're overcharged. And they also do a hefty amount of damage. What's crazy is this is only going to get better next month, which to be quite honest with you guys, I'm all for it. With that being said though, I want us to kind of dive back into some of the old Voidwalker subclass abilities that you may have forgotten about. I'm talking things like Shatter, Angry Magic, Embrace the Void. Fellas, I am all for having new abilities inside of Void 3.0, but I can't help but be a little biased here and hope that Bungie brings back some of these old subclass abilities that some are kind of already present, but others didn't make the cut. And by the way, if you happen to see us using Hawkmoon in this video, I'm specifically using it right now in front of you to remind you that this weapon, along with DMT and other exotics, are going away. Fellas, there is a loot warning video out there. Make sure you get these exotics before they leave us next month. I know they're going to a kiosk, but I don't know how random rolls and all those things are going to work. So please, for the love of God, you're seeing the nasty that Hawkmoon is putting on people. Go get a god roll of it. With that being said, let's talk about some of the things that I'm excited about for Voidwalker 3.0. Guys, I love these tracking Axiom bolts, but you know what I don't like? I don't like Slova Bomb. Now, don't get me wrong. Slova Bomb inside of PvE, yeah, I like it there. But inside of PvP, we call it Slova Bomb for a reason. And that's quite literally because every time you cast it, everyone can get away from it. But wouldn't it be nice if we had a subclass that allowed us to fully customize our very own super? I love that Bungie just rethinks the wheel here, right? But we had this. One of those options was Shatter. Nova Bomb splits into 3 projectiles. Now guys, this was fantastic if you were notorious for whiffing your super, which was myself. I whiffed so many Nova Bombs, but with Shatter, I was a Nova Bomb god. I could shut down anything, anyone, whether they were in front of me or behind cover. That was the beautiful thing about Shatter. You essentially were able to throw 3 mini Nova Bombs, which allowed Nova Bomb to be very panicky. Now the other option, outside of Vortex, which we already have on Bottom Tree Voidwalker, is of course Lance. Now Lance was a little more difficult, right? At least on controller. I feel like on mouse and keyboard, it's going to be so easy to snipe players with Nova Bomb. But that Nova Bomb would beam. Lance essentially allowed your Nova Bomb to travel faster and much further, and it did more damage. Now, on 30 frames per second on old-gen consoles with 70-something field of view, sniping with Nova Bomb on Lance was a little difficult. But inside of Destiny 2, at these frame rates, with our field of view, it should be much easier. Regardless, I'm rocking these overcharged super grenades on Top Tree Voidwalker, and all I can think about is, my lord, I wish I had a way to change out this terrible super. Now, some other Voidwalker abilities that I want to see again includes things like Soul Rip. Now, this stated that your energy drain melee when damaging an enemy would reduce the cooldown of your Nova Bomb. Now, this is an interesting perk because we literally just came off one of the biggest sandbox updates to Destiny, and that was the tier system for our supers and the overall super regeneration within the game. But with a perk like Soul Rip, you'll be getting your super back no problem. Like, can you imagine Soul Rip with Monte Carlo? You get a super every 30 seconds. Now, I don't think Bungie's gonna do that, right? Right? Let me tell you something. If you've experienced Stasis at its launch, anything is possible. And Bungie's already stated that that's the benchmark, right? Like, that's the highest, most chaotic they will ever go with our subclasses. But let me just tell you, a Soul Rip Monte Carlo combo giving us a Nova Bomb every 30 seconds is still more balanced than what Stasis was at launch. So I'm just saying, it's in the realm of possibilities. Now, some other ones that you may have forgotten about, which I kind of forgot about, includes Annihilate. This increased the size and explosions created by Nova bombs and grenades. Now, I know we already have Bloom in the game, where void ability kills cause enemies to explode. And I guess it's kind of like that. But what I liked about Annihilate was that it was not requiring a kill to see that big explosion, right? It was like, yo, you click us, we make your boom boom bigger. Now, another option was Angry Magic. Now, this is kind of like Slova Bomb, but angrier. It allowed your Nova Bomb to track enemies. Now, the tracking wasn't just fantastic or anything, but it did give you some tracking, which could definitely help at times. My thing with Angry Magic is that it could be applied to any of the various Voidwalker supers. Now, I mentioned a second ago how much I would love to see Soul Rip back inside of Destiny 2. And I know we have things like Dark Matter and Entropic Pool and even Devour, but that Soul Rip combo, which will feed into our super in combination with the perk The Hunger, this actually increases the duration of the energy drain effect. Now, energy drain being our melee. So of course, this would obviously benefit everything else. So for Destiny 2, it would be things like Dark Matter, Entropic Pool, or even Devour, right? Imagine a Devour that lasted 20 seconds. Boy, wouldn't that be nuts? But just looking at the example that we just looked at just a second ago, Monte Carlo, Soul Rip, as well as The Hunger. We're just speculating here, guys, but it sounds nasty. Now, the final column of our subclass abilities, some of these are already kind of baked in, like Vortex Mastery, increase the range of Axiom Bolt Seekers, and the duration of the Vortex effect of Nova Bomb and Vortex Grenades. Now, this is kind of baked in already with Chaos Accelerant. You see the similarities there, right? And of course, you got Bloom right there, which is already baked in with Top Tree Voidwalker. But what we don't have is Embrace the Void. Killing enemies with a Nova Bomb or any grenade triggers energy drain and restores your health. Now, the beautiful thing about Embrace the Void, back inside of Destiny 1, you could actually click off of lifesteal, but still select Embrace the Void and still get somewhat of that lifesteal effect with that healing ability. But back to what I was just talking about a second ago. First, we mentioned Soul Rip, Monte Carlo, The Hunger, and now the final trait for this build, Embrace the Void. You see where we're going with this, guys? You kill an enemy with your Nova Bomb. It activates your energy drain. It restores your health. It simultaneously activates Soul Rip. It returns super energy back to you. Hunger is also activated with that increase in duration, and then you pick up dear old Monte Carlo to start the train all over again. Listen, guys, I don't know if you're excited about Void 3.0 or not, but just looking at what old subclass abilities Bungie could bring from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 already gets me excited, because we already have variations of these subclass abilities, but at the same time, we left behind some incredible abilities from our Destiny 1 subclasses. And this is not to say we shouldn't get new abilities. I hope we do, and I'm sure we will. And the way we're speculating is that this is going to be all in fragment aspect form. So Bungie's probably going to go above and beyond even what we're predicting here. But just to circle back to what we were using this past weekend, Axiom Bolts with Chaos Accelerant overcharging these bad babies is already so nasty. What's crazy is they're going to get even nastier. Guys, if you're interested in us doing another dive on other voice subclass abilities, let me know in the comments below. We might take a look at Night Stalker and see what's transferred and what hasn't, as well as our Defender Titans, as we left behind some very juicy abilities back in D1. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.